We're joined now by Louisville head coach Pat Kelsey and student athletes Terrence Edwards Jr. and Javon Hadley. We will ask Coach for an opening statement and then direct all questions to student athletes. When that's finished, they can be excused, and we will return to Coach for questions. Coach, if you would, please start us off.
I'd like to congratulate Coach McDermott and Creighton. They played very well today. They were the better team today. Played in a very, very tough environment, being right down the road from our school, so give them a lot of credit. Proud of our guys. It's been a long journey since June 5th when these guys first came together for summer school. 0 scholarship players, built an entire team in a very, very short amount of time. They meshed quickly. We asked them to love each other from day one. These guys went all in with everything they had, with everything I asked them to do for 10 months. And for the rest of my life and for the rest of my career, I'll remember this group as one of the most special groups that I've ever coached. They're tough, they're savvy, they're veteran, they're smart, hardworking, dedicated. Just been a special, special group. I told them in there, it'll hurt bad today. It'll hurt for the next several days. It'll hurt for a while, but when they eventually are able to have perspective and get above the trees on what they've done and what they've accomplished, they've done some special, special things.
Okay, questions for the student athletes, please raise your hand. Third row on the right, please.
Josie Simpson with the Louisville Cardinal. Whenever you saw that Rain had fallen down again and gotten hurt, what was your reaction to that? And did you kind of have a feeling that he wasn't 100% yet?
Terrence, can you start?
Our hearts goes out to Rain. We already knew he wasn't 100%, but what he did today is something I remember forever. He sacrificed his body, put his body on the line tonight for us, so we can try to come out with the win. And he know how much we needed him. I'm his roommate in the hotel. I see how much he's grinding in treatment and trying to get 100%. He never not once told me that he wasn't okay. I always asked him, like, you good? You sure you good? And he just always responded above the line and always told me, even though I knew he was hurting. But, yeah, I'm just so proud of him, and he'll get back right for sure. And, what he did for us today is something that will go a long way outside of basketball.
We have a question, fourth row here on the left.
Peyton Titus, Courier-Journal. It seemed like at first Creighton kind of commanded the paint and then had a barrage of threes for Terrence or Javon, whoever wants to answer. What were they doing to disrupt you guys defensively, do you think?
Javon, can you start?
I would just say in the first half, we got a little bit frustrated. They were physical with us. We just couldn't get to our spots where we wanted to get to, and I think it kind of just frustrated us a little bit. As a veteran core, a veteran group, we definitely had to do a better job of, keeping our cool and necessarily taking better shots because, some of those bad shots that we did take kind of led to their transition because, they have the big guys just sitting down there grabbing those rebounds and then just kicking it out for transition three. So definitely as a veteran core, we had to do a better job of just being sound.
Third row here on the left.
Javon, if you could this is Rashawn Myers, Wake Up 502, Big X Sports Radio. Just talk about, you guys have been playing against big teams, Stanford and Clemson and Duke. How did Creighton compare to that in terms of getting ready and the fight down there today?
Yeah, like you mentioned, we've played a couple bigs to his caliber with size and physicality. The thing that Creighton does a really good job of is surrounding him with really good shooters. And, they exploited us in transition. So, they were getting their shots up and they were hitting tonight. And, while having a big center like him on the inside is kind of a really good mix. And tonight they were, hitting those threes. So they were the better team tonight.
Back row on the right, please.
Mr. Tony Kerwa, Sports TD. For the Javon and Terrence, what were they showing you that you hadn't seen on film all season. And how will this season be remembered for the games before this or for this game?
I can say this season is remembered for all the games combined from the beginning. The adversity we faced early in the year with the losses, and some of our key players go down in the year, and this team just rallied together and never had an excuse of anything. When we went to practice, it was no excuse, and it was the next man up mentality. I've never been a part of nothing like that, and I'm walking away from this with a good attitude and the things that Coach PK brought to me in my life, and I think it's gonna help me be a better father. And moving forward, I know I'm fine going into this pro thing because all the adversity I faced this year and in my life just gonna make me better.
Javon?
I would say, Creighton's nothing we haven't really seen. We've seen bigs to his caliber, Stanford big, and, the physicality with Cal. And, Creighton's nothing we haven't really seen. They were just we let them get open looks tonight, and they knocked them down. So Creighton's nothing. I mean, just that's credit to them. They were knocking down shots tonight.
Second row on the left.
Ethan Moore, Louisville Sports Live. Gentlemen, when do you think you guys will fully appreciate what you've done for the program in the city to bring Cardinal basketball back to where it's expected year in, year out?
Terrence, can you start?
It's going to take time for sure. Just we didn't finish how we really wanted and feel like we worked for more. And, we just got to take a couple of days off and, get with family or whatever anybody do after the season. We got, like he said, we got vets that's been through this before. And I just think you just got to – it might take a week, a month. You just never know, just depending, because this was just something special. So it's kind of hard to just shove it off and move on to something that's next.
It's definitely going to take a little bit of time, but, right away, one thing that we really can appreciate, without a doubt, is just our fan base. I've never seen a send-off like that. I mean, just at our hotel, we have a couple, 1,000 of our fans just waiting there, waiting to send us off to, our first March Madness game. That's next level. I've never seen that. I'm not sure any other team has either. So that's just a credit to our amazing fan base, and we definitely appreciate that. And we just want to make sure that we show our gratitude to our amazing fan base. And they showed out here today at Rupp Arena. It's just it really hurts our hearts that we couldn't come out with the win for you guys.
We appreciate the time for the student athletes. You guys can be excused. Thank you for your time. Okay, questions for Coach? Fourth row here on the left.
Cameron Drummond with the Lexington Herald-Leader. Pat, I know you touched on this a little bit in your opening statement, but just what this team meant, not only to the foundation of this program, but just this special group of guys. What do you think this did for what you want to set the foundation and build upon it for the future of Cardinal basketball?
Yeah, it hurts really bad when it ends, and it ends so abruptly. You prepare so hard, you work so hard every day, and you never think it's going to end. And when it ends, it's really, really hard. And when you're looking at those guys in the locker room, they're distraught, emotional. This flood of emotions comes through you too, and you just start thinking back to all the stuff you've been through with this group, and you realize how special it's been and how special they are. We have the best fan base in the country, and in my opinion, it's not even close. I mean, you saw they packed this arena tonight. There were thousands of fans at our hotel before we left. And they've really, really rallied around this special group of young men. I hate it for our fans. I hate it for our fan base that we weren't able to get it done today. These guys want it so bad to give these fans what they deserve, and that's to put, Louisville in the national spotlight, in the national tournament, advancing in the national tournament. We just came up a little short tonight. But the disappointment of today is not going to take away from the special season they had. But like we said earlier, it's going to hurt for a while.
Second row on the right, please.
Yeah, Pat, Ben Baby with ESPN. Can you just talk us through kind of the situation there at the end of the game? You seem to be frustrated. What led to the technical, and kind of what were you kind of displeased with in that moment?
I got frustrated and said something I shouldn't have said, and he teed me up. You know, far less than an ideal time to get a technical. I realize that. So it is what it is.
Back row on the left, please.
Jerry Eves of Esports Radio. Coach Kelsey, congratulations. Tremendous year. You carried yourself with grace and integrity, and I just loved it. So I appreciate you being a Cardinal. Continue doing what you're doing.
Well, that means a lot coming from a legend like you. We talk about the great fan base we have, but this history we have is crazy. I mean, you're part of a national championship. We have All-Americans galore. And I came in as this kind of outsider that nobody really knew who I was, and to get a compliment like that from one of our former greats means the world to me. So thank you. These guys worked their butts off every single day to make you guys proud. So thank you.
Third row here on the left.
Pat, it went from 3 to 15 within about a minute and a half there in the first half, and I don't want to say they dominated the rest of the game, but they were pretty comfortable. Did they just, everything they threw up there in that stretch just went in, 4 straight threes, and obviously you knew they could do something like it.
Yeah, that was a huge stretch. I know it was early in the game, but that was a 12-0 barrage that we, at the end of the day, struggled to recover from. And they got them in a bunch of different ways, but I think first and foremost it started with transition. They binge score, as I like to call it. We tell our guys, you can be on transition for 5, 6, 7 minutes. You relax for 1 second, and ball gets out of the net or off the rim, gets in their hands, pitch ahead. They're getting threes. And then, when they missed them, they were getting second shots, and they got a couple kick-out threes as well. So that was a big stretch. Our guys, continued to battle. They're a very good team. They're very well coached. They got one of the best centers in the country. They got a terrific point guard. Big kid. I always say numbers. This isn't a disrespect, but I always say if we were playing the 96 Bulls, I would say 23 for Chicago. But 11 is a load. Makes you make some really, really tough decisions on what you're doing with pick and rolls, because he's one of the best lob threats in the country, and the shooting that they have around him forces you to make tough decisions. We were trying to drop the pick and roll and fight over the top and really be physical with the roll. And they were screening us and really turning the corner and getting to the rim. So the adjustment we made was, to start trying to be aggressive with the pick and roll and hedge more. And number one's a surgeon. He can really pick you apart. If you stay in the low position to take away the roll, he does a good job of throwing back and find shooters. They got loose a couple times, but our guys continued to fight. We cut it to 10 or 12, whatever it was, when the knucklehead head coach got a technical. That didn't help, but again, give them a lot of credit. They were the better team today.
Third row here on the left still.
Rashawn Myers, Wake Up 502, Big X Sports Radio. Coach, if you could just talk about, I know you say that this is a no-excuse program, but you lose Kaysen, you lose Corin, rain goes down, you had Noah out for a stretch. When you think back on it, second in the ACC, you make it to the ACC championship game. With all of the adversity that this team faced, does that make it even more special what you guys were able to do this year?
All I can think about right now is that loss, and it hurts really, really bad, because I wanted it so bad. Our players wanted it so bad. Our fan base wanted it so bad. They answered the call. There was so much red there. There was so much passion. There was so much noise. So all I can feel right now is, just that, and it hurts really, really bad. There'll come a time when we'll look back and you kind of appreciate it a little bit more, but now is not the time. We got a bunch of hurting guys in those locker room. We got some guys that will never put on a jersey again, ever again. We got some guys that will go on and play professionally. I really like to think, and maybe this sounds like cliche and coach speak, but I really mean it. I think being a part of this journey for the last 10 months, even if those guys were only in a Louisville journey or uniform for 1 year, genuinely learned life lessons that are going to make them better in every facet of their life moving forward. And that's something I'm passionate about and my staff's passionate about.
We'll try to do 3 real quick, right here, and then 2 over here in the second and third row.
Pat, you guys did a pretty quick job of putting together an impressive roster before the season started, finding the right transfers and making sure that you found the guys who could love each other. As you move forward with some of those guys now moving on, could you speak a little bit about to your roster build for next year? Obviously, you got some veterans coming back. You got an elite freshman in there.
I mean, right now is not the time. We're excited about what we have coming back. We'll do a great job in recruiting and in the transfer portal and put a great team together that's going to compete for a championship. I have all the confidence in the world that is going to happen. That's not for this press conference. Not for right now.
Second and third row here on the right.
Yeah, Pat, Ben Baby with ESPN again. Chucky had a really big first half. What were they doing maybe defensively in the second to make sure that he couldn't get involved until maybe later on?
Ben, you're a Cincinnati Bengals beat writer, right? Yeah, big fan. So their defensive scheme is based around putting one of the best rim protectors in the country at the rim, and he doesn't move much. And what they try to do is really funnel everything to him, whether it's an off-ball screen or whether it's a ball screen. It's like they just play on top of you and force you to go there. So, in new age basketball analytics, the mid-range shot is one of the lower percentage shots in the game, although number 5 for them defied all human nature when it comes to basketball metrics today, because that young man was shooting it in from the mid-range, and I give him a ton of credit, tip the cap. He had an amazing game. I mean, he had 29, 12, 6 assists, and many of them were tough shots. And I would say that about Creighton overall, too. Like, every time that we got a little momentum, it was like a dagger shot, whether it was number 11's deep 3, whether it was number 1's 3 from, seemed like from – I don't know, another county down the road. And that was a big one. And then number 5 was hitting tough dagger middies that were each time you turned around, you're like, gosh. So, they have a lot of movement on offense. So Chucky, exerts a lot of energy chasing number 1 around. He never stops moving, and neither does Chucky either. And that was a really, really good matchup and a good battle. But, try to do a little bit better job with our ball movement, people movement in the second half, because in the first half it was much more dribble because we were setting middle pick and rolls and they were forcing us down to the giant, and we were attacking him, getting some middies and getting some shots at the rim. So I thought we did a better job, and our percentages reflect that in the second half of having more fluidity and more movement, cutting and screening to our offense.
Last question.
Josie Simpson with the Louisville Cardinal. Coach Kelsey, what was your thought process when you saw that water bottle was thrown at the court towards Creighton's team?
I didn't see it, to be honest with you. I was, just had gotten the technical, and I'm talking to my team, and then they kept cleaning something up at the other end, and I was like, what the crap's going on? And then somebody said, threw a water bottle on the court. It's unfortunate, but, it happened.
Coach, we appreciate your time during your stay. Thanks so much.
Thank you.